Alright guys, how we doing tonight? Well, I'm recently single, so if there's any young, attractive ladies in the audience that would like to talk to me after my routine, I would be really surprised. I was told I have to work TV clean tonight. I'm not a fan of the phrase TV clean. I've never been watching an R-rated movie on cable television where they bleeped out a word and went, oh, I guess he just didn't say anything there. No, I know he said a bad word, so now it's a game of curse word clue. My brain goes, hey, let's stop everything that we're doing and go on a profanity scavenger hunt to figure out what that word was. So instead of hearing one bad word, I think of every piece of foul language that I know, and by the time I've gone through it all, I've missed 2 minutes of the movie. I'm sure you guys have noticed in the news recently that Russia's been acting a lot like, well, Russia. I don't like their president, Putin. I mean, I don't know what he's like as a person, and I'm not too familiar with his politics. It's just that I don't trust anybody that looks like a James Bond villain. A lot of people are upset with Russia for their policy on gay rights recently. Some people have even suggested boycotting 2014 Russian Winter Olympics. I'm not sure if we should boycott so much as I'm not sure if Russia should be holding the games. Because if you're against homosexuality, the Winter Olympics might not exactly be your cup of vodka. You know, with events like men's figure skating and the two-man luge. Men's figure skating has more sequence than a drag show on ice, and the two-man luge just looks like a premise for a softcore gay fetish film. Even gay guys watching the two-man luge go, fellas, I'm not sure what this is, but I call next. I hope we don't boycott though, because I love the Olympics. Not so much any of the events, but I love the advertising. Because in the US, one of the biggest sponsors for the Olympics is McDonald's. That's the punchline. The Olympics is a gathering of the most athletic and physically fit people in the world, and we're so backwards that we sponsor it by the thing that's making us all fat. That's like your drug dealer sponsoring rehab. Yeah, hey man, yeah, I got you some Coke. Yeah, and you can do lines off this complimentary flyer from Betty Ford Hospital. We are a fat country though. We're so fat that we have excuses for it. Like calling obesity a disease. Have you heard that? It's a nationwide epidemic. Really? Because now we're just making stuff up, and quite frankly, that makes no sense. I just want things to make sense. It's like the word phonics. The word phonics is the word that we use to describe how stuff is spelt and then said. And we spell it with a P and an H. How did you come to that conclusion? That is some alphabetic alchemy. How do you teach your kids that? Well, honey, P makes the plus sound like in pink, H makes the huh sound like in happy, and PH makes the fuss sound like phallus. We've already got one letter that goes pho. Why are we outsourcing F's job to P and H? You know, we're gonna start a linguistic revolution in here tonight. The next time any of you needs to spell a word that uses a P and H, use an F. And if somebody tries to tell you you're wrong, you tell them they can go fuck themselves. But calling obesity a disease. Obesity is not a disease. If it is, we've already got the cure. It's called a treadmill. Doctors need to start prescribing that. Mr. Smith, I see by looking at your chart here that you seem to have a bad case of obesity. From looking at it, I would guess the Ben & Jerry strain. Where's your prescription? Go home, run 2 miles, and call me in the morning. Obesity is not a disease. I've never had a one-night stand, woke up the next morning and went, God, I hope she didn't have obesity. I've never run a 5K for obesity. And obesity should have a 5K. It'd be the only race for the cure where the cure is the race. And what an insult to countries suffering from starvation. To call obesity a disease? Do you think the hungry kids in Africa might want to trade? We will take the obesity. You can have malaria. I was practicing this material on one of my friends. She had a question about the obesity bit right there. She went, "Are you sure you can make fun of fat people? You're not really fat. What if somebody in the audience gets offended?" And I said, "Well, it's okay. If there's an obese person in the audience and they get upset, I can outrun them. You don't see me up here making fun of black people." Guys, thank you so much for laughing. My name is Kasey Snyder. I hope that you vote. My name is Kasey Snyder. Thank you, guys.
Yeah! Give that one more time for Kasey.